And welcome back, everyone. We are here with the beginning of the end. Oh my. This is, of course, the DreamHack Masters Fall 2021 very first Latin American qualifier. I'm, of course, your host, Light VIP, and with me is my lovely co-caster from Latino America. It is, of course, Ducklings.
Hola, hola, ¿cómo están?
Mate, are you ready for today?
Mate, it's going to be, as always, welcome everyone to the first day of the hardest and most bloodbath qualifier of all the DreamHack regions.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
because,
yeah.
mate, there's only 2 spots and we have like 50 players ready to kill each other.
It's it's gonna be rough, mate. I saw the bracket, exclamation mark B in the chat, by the way, if you want to have a look at the bracket, mate. It's gonna be really intense. There's a lot of insane matchups happening. Feels bad, man. I don't know if you saw Neo and Tavo. They're probably gonna play against each other. They're probably gonna face each other in a couple of rounds. But here we are in our first series of the day.
Are you okay? Like you were lost for a second. Like
No, yeah.
I didn't hear you for a second.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. So.
Uh-oh.
This player to you.
Daki, you're cutting out a little bit. Oh boy, but of course, here spawning in the top right hand corner of 2000 atmospheres LE, we have the Peruvian Zerg player, also kind of Italian. He is the CranKy Duckling himself. It is Ryu. As we may have some technical issues, hopefully.
This is EON.
Darking, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Darking?
Yes, I can hear you. What happened?
Okay. Could you just in case check your connection, just because you have been cutting out a little bit?
That's what I was going to say to you. You are cutting out a little bit as well. For me as well.
We may have to change Discord servers. Because it may just be the server. Hold on.
Please tell me we're not in Australia.
No, we're in US West. Yeah. Because at the moment my connection to OBS is perfectly fine. But of course we are getting into this series, and so far nothing crazy going on. To be honest, I'm a little bit surprised. Oh god, I may hold on. Let's see if we can change the server. Oh god, I know they recently changed it.
Just technical difficulties, people. Hold on for a second. It's okay. It's a ZvZ. Nothing good is happening.
Everything good is happening, mate. Oh my god. So yeah, honestly, when I saw the bracket and I saw Ryu versus EON, I had a heart attack to begin with because I thought it was Neo, and I'm like, oh my god, is it Neo versus EON? which is the first round matchup we had last season. I was like, oh my god, is it happening again?
Yes. Then you remember your player is. It's Peruvian, not Costa Rican.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, the first round of this qualifier is not so crazy. There's not many like crazy matches that you will not expect. The only one that I will think, wow, I cannot believe these 2 players are paired up in round 1 are these 2, you know?
Yeah.
Ryu, both high level, grandmaster level players, and for one of them to be out in the first round is really rough, mate.
It really is. I feel bad for EON to go up against Ryu like this. Oh god! But as you said, like, this is probably the highest profile profile round 1 match going on. It is a bit of a shame that it seems like almost every single caster jumped into this lobby, but it's kind of understandable because it was like the first one to be ready and the first one to be publicized. So yeah, here we go. All eyes are on these two players, and EON, he does set a bunch of links across the map, but there are plenty of banelings here to defend. Ryu should be able to hold on. He does force a link back.
Yes, he does. There's no problem. The hatchery receive a little bit of damage, but nothing much. And yeah, so far so good for both players. 57 supply for EON, 48 for Ryu.
Yeah, pretty much. Meanwhile, we do have the Roach one, of course, on the way for EON. We do see that his Baneling nest was relatively late, so he doesn't have any Banelings to protect his third base, but of course, he doesn't need to because he's the one who's kind of applying pressure across the map instead. We'll lose a couple of drones, but the Roaches are already coming out, mate.
Yes, Roaches are ready for EON. They're moving out across the map, but the Roaches for Ryu are not far behind, so he should be ready to defend by the time these Roaches arrive.
Yeah, the Roaches are on the way. He even has a spine as well. A lot of it will come down to these Banelings. Oh my god, okay. Whew. Thankfully, Ryu does respond in time. One of the Banelings doesn't get baited out, and this is a pretty committed attack from EON, and oh my god, he's being forced all the way back. He comes back home.
Yeah, and a nice run by of Zerlings going on for Ryu, attacking the third base of EON. The Queen is exposed. He's going to fall definitely. And EON is forced to come back.
Yeah, oh my god. All the lings go down as well. The Roaches finally come back home, and Ryu, like, he accomplished what he needed to. He probably could have defended at home pretty freely, but instead he counterattacked. He killed queens, he killed a couple of drones. Nicely done.
Yes, nicely done by Ryu. I mean, this goes to show you why he is one of the best, especially in a ZvZ, mate.
Exactly. Recently, he did beat Eric in a ZvZ as well. I believe that wasn't a Copa Hyperion, may have been a Sentimiento Latino. But yeah, he's been really popping off recently, and I'm happy for him. He doesn't have an easy start against EON. Again, we've been talking a lot about Ryu, but EON is also the best player in Costa Rica. He's an amazing player, to be honest. But he is a little bit, I guess, underrated, or at least, you know, he's not on the level of someone like Ryu or the Zerg Lord. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, but this is his chance to prove himself and finally qualify for DreamHack Latin America. Last season, he was so close, but he unfortunately didn't make it. Let's see how it goes for him this season, mate.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, I think EON, he played in Desafiantes last season, right?
EON? No, I don't believe so. Let me quickly check, but I'm pretty sure he was not.
Okay. Oh boy. But yeah, EON, he did do well. He faced another Duckling last season. But we'll see how he does here, as unfortunately that attack was thwarted. And a very interesting choice here by EON is that he is taking up pretty hard, and he is going for a very fast Hydra Den.
Ooh, quick lurkers.
Oh yeah. That's the name of the game here, and oh my god, it's about to, is it going to be scouted? It just barely is by Ryu.
Yes, nice job by Ryu. Remember, Ryu is like one of the best scouting players in the region.
Oh yeah.
It's like impossible to hide anything from him. By the way, Ryu made a couple of dropper lords, I believe.
Yeah, that he did. I was quickly quickly trying to keep an eye on them. There they are. They're actually heading across the map. It looks like he wants to try and drop into the main base. Honestly, he does this often, not just in ZvZ, but in ZvT as well. It is a nice way to kind of avoid a lot of the stack defense. And EON, I don't know if he's going to be ready for this. He does have Overlords in place. Oh no, he's not going to see this.
Yeah, he's not going to see that. Ryu is going for the long way around. So possibly he's going to try a two-way attack while EON is occupied with one attack. He's going to drop in the main base and try to do as much damage as possible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here we go. The Dropper Lords are coming into the main base. At the same time, Ryu is getting ready to push into the third. What is EON? How is he going to respond to this as the Roaches, they get dropped?
Yes, and there we go. Okay, EON doesn't fall for the bait. He doesn't send his whole army to return to the main base. But at the same time, the Roaches of Ryu are free to do whatever they want on the main base, and they're killing a lot of drones, mate.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you say he doesn't fall for the bait. He kind of did, because he lost his entire mineral line. Like, which one was really the bait is the question, as Ryu just pulled him apart.
Yeah, and when I mean bait, I mean something that many players do, like very casually. Is like
Whole army.
they select his whole army with the F2 key, and then they use a move. He didn't, but it was a little slow to react to the drop. Unfortunately, he lost 19 drones so far, and that drop's still alive, mate. It could still do some damage in the future.
Yeah, what's crazy is only one roach died. That's crazy. So he keeps dropping here into the natural base. At the same time, the main army continues to pressure here at the third. I mean, EON, he is pushing away Ryu for now, but more reinforcements are coming. And unfortunately, the reinforcements of EON, they're busy trying to deal with the drop.
Yeah, this is starting to snowball for Ryu. He is now 50 supply ahead. 20 of it is in army, and the rest is in workers, so definitely not a good place for EON. EON needs to hold very strongly, and oh no, mate, EON is starting to lose even more workers at home.
Oh god, exactly.
31 workers killed so far.
And the roaches are still alive. They can keep going. Meanwhile, Ryu, he's breaking into the third base. Nice dodges on the bios, and finally the hydrogens are coming out. The hydrogen was done minutes ago, but now finally they're coming into play, but it is far too late, mate. You cannot rush into hydras like this. You need to stay on Roach Ravager a little bit longer, and Ryu, mate, he finds the timing.
And GG, mates, Ryu takes the first game of this series.
GG.
It was a very close game until it wasn't.
That's I couldn't have put it better myself, mate. Oh god. But yeah, it was, as you said, like it all started to fall apart probably when EON came back home, right? Like when that Ling run by forced the entire army to respond.
Did you see map number 2, Light?
I did. Oh my.
This is an interesting map that neither player vetoed. I mean, I'm not sure how fun or unfun is to play this map on a ZvZ, Light. What did you think about this map on a ZvZ?
It's hard to say because it's a mirror matchup. It's hard to say.
Tell me, do you personally find this map fun? In a ZvZ?
In a ZvZ, personally, I do. Just because of the gold base and the kind of dynamic that forces.
Yeah, for people wondering, we are talking about Blackburn because we haven't mentioned the map.
Exactly.
We are going to be going to Blackburn for the second map of the day.
Blackburn is the map, and it's not surprising to me that we see it in a mirror matchup. It'd be shocking if we saw it in a different kind of matchup, right? But I'm curious to see if EON has something cheeky in store for us.
In before a 12-11. Come on, let me dream. And here we go, mates. Welcome to Blackburn early and spawning here. The red Protoss player, the Ducklings third player. This is Ryu.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the Costa Rican Zerg player representing T-Sup Gaming. It is EON. Oh boy.
Not pull first. I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, I'm surprised, to be honest. I was expecting that on a map like Blackburn, but both players are going hatch first.
Yeah, hatch first for both players. Let's see who makes a deviation. Currently, the bot players are basically playing exactly on point, and there we go. There's a deviation. There's one extra drone for EON.
Yeah, a bit of an extra drone. Meanwhile, we do have a faster gas from EON. He's actually delaying his spawning pool a little bit more compared to Ryu. Not the biggest deviation. Yeah.
That extra drone was really interesting. What's the difference between making the drone now or the drone later?
It's just a little bit greedier. That's kind of what it is here, and honestly, I feel like that's a smart thing to do against someone like Ryu, right? Like Ryu, he's one of the more like passive Zerg players in the early game. He's not like Eggs or the Zerg Lord, right? So I think you can get away with stuff like this, like delaying a couple of things, getting a faster gas. EON even going for a faster third. Oh my god! Oh,
Oh my god, he's going for the goal. He's going for the goal.
He's doing it! He's doing it! Let's go!
Okay, so now we know who's going to lose this game. And
there's gonna be a 2-0.
I believe Ryu saw the drone with his Overlord, right?
I think
he have seen the drone.
Yeah. He saw it. He's gonna double check with the Overlord as well, just in case. It's important to note that when I said being greedy against someone like Ryu, he's an aggressive in the early game, but like at this stage, like, you know, going for a Ling Flood, denying the third base, like Ryu is fully capable of doing so, as he does confirm the gold base. He sees the hatchery. Lings are already on the way, mate.
Yeah, Lings are on the way. A Baneling nest is also on the way for Ryu, so he wants to be aggressive one way or another.
Exactly. There are only a handful of Lings here, so EON can definitely defend. The problem is that EON, his own Lings are honestly kind of late.
Yeah, talk about being greedy, mate.
Yeah, he just droned up so hard, so I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to this base, especially because right now he only has 2 Lings. 2 more are on the way. The Queen is on the way as well. What's important is that behind this, Ryu, Baneling Nest, is about to finish up, mate.
Yes, Baneling is about to finish, and he's starting to float a lot of settings, mate. I don't see any Baneling, any drone in production for Ryu at the moment.
Exactly. And at the moment, like, EON can defend. The problem is that, like, the Queen, it's here at the third. Like, if Ryu wanted to, we could avoid the third base completely and just go straight for the natural. Meanwhile, Baneling Nest is done. We have 4 Banelings being morphed in. This is a nice catch for EON. He trades with some of the Lings, but oh god, the Banelings, they're done.
Yes, Banelings are done, although they're currently not drones in the tier base, so those Banelings might not come into play soon. But we'll see. I mean, both players are starting to float a lot of Lings, and the only Lings is going to what is happening in the next few minutes. One of the Queens got surrounded.
Oh, mate, both Queens are dead. The Banelings do a nice job at forcing the Lings away from EON. There it is. The Queens are gone. The third base may go down as well, but we have a lot of Lings on the way from EON, and his own Baneling Nest is just about to finish.
Yes, his own Baneling Nest is going to finish. Let's see if he's able to defend his own base. Meanwhile, on the other side, EON trying to catch reinforcement with his own Lings.
Yeah, he's trying, but he's not very successful. Meanwhile, a lot of Lings here are gonna try and save the gold, and he's gonna actually be able to do so.
Yeah, he does. Nice win by EON. He really needed. He wanted that goal. He needs to fight for it, but Ryu is not stopping him. More Lings are coming, mate.
Yeah, more Lings are coming.
Wait for the hatchery.
Oh my god, almost gets the juiciest connection. Does only connect with a handful of Lings, but the third base does go down.
Third base falls, and yeah, mate. There's nothing here now to defend. Ryu enters the main base, and let's see how much damage he can do.
Yeah, exactly. There is still one Baneling here for EON, and it looks like it will connect. EON defense is natural, but he wasn't able to defend his third, and as all that was happening, Ryu, he got his own third up and running.
Yes, now it is definitely Ryu who is ahead with that extra hatchery and extra larva. Not extra workers, to be honest, they're pretty evening workers, but that extra base is going to add nicely for the production that Neon now desperately needs to catch up.
Definitely. Oh boy, EON, he just has to hold on a little bit longer to try and catch up in that economy, as you were saying. Like, the third base is on the way once again, but he's still stuck on 2 bases. What does he plan to do here? Lair just gets started. He's looking to commit into roaches, but I don't see an Evo chamber yet. He could do something crazy and go for mutas, which I wouldn't be opposed to, but EON has to do something to catch up.
Well, his lair is halfway done. His third base also halfway done. So yeah, let's see what he does. Roaches or something crazy. I mean, he has the Roach Warren. He has not started anything out of that Roach Warren made. Are you? I mean, maybe, I don't know, feeling Nidus play, maybe?
Oh, maybe. I mean,
this is a good map for doing Nidus.
It definitely is. Like, there's a lot of dead space here in the main base of Ryu. Unfortunately, EON doesn't have an Overlord in position to take advantage of that quite yet. The layer is about to finish up, and we'll see if he does just go for Roach Speed, or if he goes for something else. I don't... I know I said it. I don't really like this. I don't know, mate.
Yeah, the gases are kinda late, isn't it, for being a weak Spire?
The gases are Yeah, what's missing is the fourth gas. Where's the fourth gas, right? You need as much gas as possible, and he's only working off of 3 right now. The thing that I'm worried about as well is that Blackburn, we talk about this a lot in other matchups, the rush distance by ground is very short. Like, I feel like Ryu is going to hit with roaches before there are enough mutas to really contest against them.
We'll see, mate, we'll see.
That we shall. +1 is on the way. To be fair, Ryu's lair is a lot later, and I imagine he doesn't want to push out until Roach speed finishes. So that is going to give EON a decent amount of time to get ready and get those mutas.
Yeah, Roach speeds start as soon as possible. And yeah, as you say, probably EON is going to get away with it. The question is it going to do enough damage? The spy is about to finish. How many mutalies can he make at the moment? 4, 5?
5.
Not enough in my opinion.
Yeah, he's making more. We do have the Overseer coming in. It goes into the natural, which I think is a smart move. Unfortunately, the natural is not where... Oh, he actually does see the spire with his changeling. So now he knows.
Yes, he saw the Spire. A lot of spores are going in at the moment in Ryu's bases. 7 spores at a time.
Yeah, 2 in each base and 1 here in between the natural and the third base. So he is well set up defensively for it. And now it's go time. Now he feels the pressure to make something happen with his roaches and his links. He's still waiting for roach speed. And if he wanted to, he could pull an Eric and like maybe even get Burrow. That's actually what EON is doing.
Yeah, Eon finally taking a page about Eric for Burrow movement for the roaches. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword because you already invested quite a few mutalies, and your opponent was ready with spores. So your Burrow roaches are going to be noticed, mate.
Oh, and this is important. The Overseer comes back in, and I believe he should see the Roach Warren researching. He did see the additional Evo chamber, which could be a tell. But of course, we do see Ryu is going into those Hydras. And as you said, like, because he's no longer investing into mutas, like, Hydras still do decently well against Roaches. Oh.
Nice cancel on the gold base by Eon. A second cancel?
Almost, mate. Okay. Almost.
Yeah, the drone was just only a second late. Otherwise, yeah, maybe. Ooh, Burrow is starting out also for Ryu, mate. Are we going to see Burrow Roaches versus Burrow Roaches?
It looks like that's going to be the case. Eon, even though his tunneling claws finished much earlier, he kind of forgot about Burrow a little bit. So now it just starts now. So they're going to finish up at about the same time. And I think at this point, Ryu has realized, hey, there's not an overcommitment to these mutas. Like, there's only this handful of mutas, and that is it. So he knows not to like overcommit to the spores and to the anti-air. And there we go. He immediately throws down a lurker deck.
Lurkers are going. I want to see like the comedy sketch of Burrow Roaches encountering Burrow Roaches on the ground, just ignoring each other.
They just like bonk each other's heads. Can they? I think they can block each other, right? Like if there's a wall of burrowed roaches, you can't move past them with burrowed roaches, right?
I believe so. But then again, it is a thing that you have to notice that your roaches cannot move for some reason, right?
So yeah, here we go. Roaches are already going across the map. They're going to be looking to harass some of these bases. Eon does have a spore at his third, only his third though, and his main base. So he has some detection to help deal with that, but not in all the bases. So he is still a little bit vulnerable to this.
Yeah, Burrow Roaches are coming in. They're going for the gold base of Eon, and yeah, they own Burrow and they start attacking the drones.
Yeah, that they do. They don't find too much damage, but they deny a lot of mining time. Meanwhile, the Lings show up. They're gonna deal with this. Burrow does get revealed. At the same time, we have a couple of roaches in the main, but Eon is on top of them.
Yeah, these roaches are not going to do anything. I think this is going to be a very passive game until both players amass enough lurkers so they can feel confident to push into one another. Man, are we going to see like the kind of stalemate game that sometimes we see in ZvZ, where either both players have just a big line of lurkers and not moving around?
I don't think we're gonna see that. We should see lurker versus lurker. I would imagine the players are gonna be a little bit more aggressive, but a lot of that is gonna come down to the Viper control. Ryu, he's working on the hive. EON, he's a little bit far behind. Like, he only just now starts the infestation pits. Like, again, Vipers are so crucial when it comes to like lurker Viper Hydra against lurker Viper Hydra.
Ryu trying to do as much damage as possible without Burrow Roach. Unfortunately, he's not succeeding, mate. Every single Burrow Roach has been located so far. There's a couple of there like hiding left, but nothing else. And I think EON is now ready to move across the map and try to do some damage himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's maxed out, right? He does have the higher army supply, but a lot of that supply is in roaches. The mutas also are kind of useless. Yeah, they do get pushed away. So EON has to do something. He has to try and refine his army. Meanwhile, Ryu, he is the one with all these lurkers, so many more. And without Vipers in this composition, like, I don't think EON can really like push in. But if he did, like, he would lose so much.
14 lurkers are the amount of lurkers that Ryu has made. That's a lot of lurkers. And now the four Vipers are coming in. I think as soon as those Vipers come out and have enough energy, Ryu is just going to move out and try to outmatch his opponent.
Yeah, I think what's shocking to me is that, like, EON, he has two. These are the only two lurkers that he has. Again, a lot of that is because he just needs to get rid of these roaches. Like, get him out of here. He's maxed out. He needs to free up some supply.
There we go, mate. He's killing drums for him. There's the first supply.
I guess so. What's worrisome is, like, look at the worker count as well. Like, Ryu, he has so many more resources to work with. Afterwards, we do see was he killing some of his own roaches there? It was hard to tell.
No, it was all the roaches of Ryu that were moving underground.
Okay, that's a shame. That's a shame. Kill some of your own roaches, please. Oh god, there it is. The hive is finally on the way, but the Vipers are out, mate. They've got their energy.
Yeah, Vipers are out. A lot of lurkers are out. I think. What? You got the map and the icon on the army?
I'm pretty sure he's speaking to the Brazilian caster. I think Kakarot is one of the Brazilian casters, and he's talking to his other code caster. Anyway, mate, here we go. Here comes engaging. He's trying to push upper ramp into lurkers. Oh my god,
mate, that's 30 supply instantly gone for EON, mate. That was a really bad fight for him. He didn't have nowhere near enough to fight those lurkers, plus the blinding clouds of the Vipers. Oh god. EON is in a rough position, mate.
Yeah, blinding clouds once again. EON's trying to force his way into these lurkers. He doesn't even have detection, by the way. Okay, no, there we go. There is detection, but he loses his entire army.
Yeah, mate, 50 supply gone just to kill a few lurkers, and he didn't even kill them all.
He didn't. Meanwhile, nice snipe there on one of the lurkers. He actually remaxed on Hydras. Interesting decision. Hydras are good, I guess, but mate, you need to morph in some lurkers. You need some of your own defensive ones.
Yeah, definitely. As soon as real lurkers are on position, these Hydras are going to melt, mate. Remember, they're very fragile.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the lurkers, they just burrow on the other side of this gold base. This Overseer probably isn't long for this world either. It's one of those things where Ryu instantly remaxed, but he's giving EON a lot of time, and EON, he's going for a counterattack.
Yeah, he is. The question is, will this work, mate? Will this work? Ryu is returning, but not with his whole army. We have a couple of units attacking the 5th base of EON at the moment as well. Plus 3 attack just now finished for Ryu. So he is now ahead in the upgrade advantage. And EON is not starting his +3/+3 anytime soon, mate. EON is slowly to start behind more and more with this passing second.
Oh god, exactly. Meanwhile, Ryu, somehow he actually finds his way around the lurkers, and the lurkers are so exposed here from EON. The rest of his army is so close, and oh my god!
This is a disaster, mate. This is a disaster. his whole army melt against the lurkers of Ryu, and now Ryu has an army and EON doesn't, and that's GG.
Mate, GG gets cold. Ryu, he moves on here in this bracket as he 2-0s EON.
GG, what a nice first round matchup, light. Unfortunately, one of these two players have to go out, and remember, this is a single elimination, mate. You lose, you're out, and EON unfortunately cannot advance today, and we'll probably see him in the second qualifier in 2 days.
Yeah, I imagine so. Oh my god. Yeah, wow. What a showing here from Ryu. He takes down his first opponent. He's going to move on in that bracket. And since I think we have a little bit of time, I think maybe it's a good opportunity to go over the bracket, to go over some of the players. I did see in the chats, there were a couple of people asking like, hey, you know, it's kind of like my first time watching Latin American StarCraft. I don't know many of these players. You know, who should we be looking out for?
You've gone to the right place, mate. Remember, Latin America is the spiciest of regions. Like,